In today's video, I'm going to be doing some repairs on this cheap soprano saxophone I bought off of Amazon. Now, I filmed this several months ago and never uploaded it, but since last time I said if I got 2,000 likes on the other video, I'd give away another saxophone. And on Instagram, you guys voted to have a soprano for the next giveaway. I'm giving away this very saxophone right here. Now, clearly I'm going to need to raise the bar a bit higher for the next giveaway, or I'm going to run out of saxophones real fast. So if this video gets 4,000 likes and we hit 150,000 subscribers, I'll give away another brand new saxophone. So all of you watching that aren't yet subscribed, come on, get yourself subscribed. Drop me one of these right now. You'll be helping somebody, maybe yourself, get a new sax. More details on how to win this one a little bit later on. First, let's get it playing a bit better. I'm going to be setting up the soprano saxophone I bought off of Amazon and did an unboxing a little while back. If you watched that video, you heard me play it. You know it plays fine out of the box, but you did see that there was some mechanical issues that needed to be addressed. This saxophone comes with two necks, right? You got the slightly curved one and the straight one. They both are a bit tight fit with my mouthpiece. There's nothing nicer than having a really, really good fit with your mouthpiece on the neck cork. I'm only using these two pieces of sandpaper that I've cut. One is like a rougher grain, the 180, and then you got a finer grain at 320. Here we go, very quickly. It's not gonna take you any more than 5 or 10 minutes.
One eternity later.
So now I've gotten this to the point where I can put my mouthpiece on there. It's still quite tight. That was just with the coarse grain sandpaper. So now with a piece of the finer grain, it's gonna smooth that cork out. So now that's dry and I could get the mouthpiece on and off reasonably easily. If I add the cork grease, we should have a very nice fit. Again, you want to put a nice, healthy amount of cork grease on there and rub it deep into the cork. And, oh, great. There you go. So now we've got a perfect fit. And one of the things I noticed was the mechanical play in these keys. And I'm sure right here you can see how much this key is moving. All three of these rods here are moving basically the same amount. Look at this one. And also this G sharp. Okay, so what do all of these keys have in common is they all attach right here with this post. If I bend it in towards me here a few millimeters, that could go a long way to correcting the mechanical play in all four of those keys. So first step is going to be remove all the keys. So I've got here a spring hook, this spring hook, as well as these two screwdrivers and this pair of pliers all come from musicmedic.com. I have been buying tools from them and using their tools for many years. They're great guys over there and they make some really good stuff. And what's fantastic, this is something that never existed before. You were never able to just go online and order parts and tools for saxophones. And when they opened up that shop, it was great for people like me, small, independent repair technicians. I was able to just order one thing. You know, I didn't have to have a big account with them or anything. I could just order a couple small things to do the few jobs that I was working on. So we use these nice pliers to pull out that hinge rod. Set that aside. Okay, and now for the pivot screws. I'm going to take them all out over here. I like to leave the pivot screws in. If I take the key out and I screw the pivot screw back in. This way, it's one less thing that can fall on the floor and get lost. This is one of the things where you can really screw up a saxophone. So leave this to a qualified repair technician. Don't try this at home. This is going to put to rest all the people that think that these saxophones are so badly made they're going to fall apart, because that's pretty, that's soldered on there good, huh? Okay, this has a little bit less play, so I need to bring this end in a little bit more that way. You know, when you're repairing saxophones, it's always a matter of a little bit more, just a tiny little bit more, and I went too far. It's always a good idea when you're doing stuff like this to check many times. There's no rush. Okay, so you could see right here, I'm just testing the amount of play between these keys, and it's almost all gone. It's usually in the last half a millimeter that you break the saxophone. It's just always trying to get that last little bit of perfection. Okay, that's pretty good right there. Okay, well, I may have gotten lucky. Let's put it back together. I just removed virtually all of the play in all 4 of these keys with 1 pair of pliers, 2 screwdrivers, and a little bit of elbow grease. We then have to check the pads and if they're still seating as they should, because by removing this play, we've kind of adjusted where these pads are going to land. Hopefully now, when they close, they're always going to land in the same spot. That's the whole concept. That's why we don't want any of that lateral movement in these keys, because we want the pad to be landing in the exact same place every time. So in order to check that, I need to get my leak light. Okay, B flat on its own is sealing pretty well. Front, back, sides. And now what I see is that the B flat comes down and closes before the B. B flat is closed, the B is still well open. And you got to squeeze to get that to close. In order to fix that, I'm just going to make a bend on this foot here. You see this B key has an arm or a foot or some appendage that sticks out, so that when you press your B flat key, it presses both of them down. And now we want to move this B key arm up a little bit to reduce the distance between the two so that they close at the same exact time. I would just take the same pliers. These are like these duckbill pliers. I got these from Music Medic. And these are great for bending keys because they have a big grip. They hold a large part of the key and they hold it very flat, so it's not going to leave a mark. So I just put that there and I do a little bend up, and now it should be good. I've got these two closing at almost the exact same moment. That's repaired. That's going to make a big difference. It's going to feel a lot nicer in your keys. When your keys and your pads are sealing well, you can actually feel it in the mechanisms. I just wanted to show you something. This is not something that's necessarily broken with the saxophone, but it's something that we can improve on. It's with this E flat key. Now everything is working fine. It's got a cork on the foot there, but my problem with it is it's spongy. That cork is like a big sponge. Watch, it hits the body of the saxophone. Look how much further I could press that down. That's just not a good feel. When you press the key down, you want it to stop, and that's the end of the motion. You don't want it to stop and then kind of squeeze and squishy a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change that cork. All right, so the cork on the C key, that's okay. I don't have a problem with that cork. It's this cork. Look, all right, so you could see here, it's quite a thick cork, but it's really squishy. and there's a big glob of glue on the side, and it looks like half the cork fell off at some point. So let's remove that. You know, often these things can be removed with just your fingernails. So in my last repair video, I was showing you guys you could use either contact cement or super glue to glue the corks onto the keys. And in that video, I showed you the quick and dirty way using super glue. And that's the way I normally do it because it's faster and I'm impatient. But here I've got a piece of cork and I've already got the contact cement. It's kind of dried on there. So that's gonna work. So if I take a little bit more contact cement and put it on this key, and I use a reed as my applicator, get a nice layer of contact cement on that key. And we gotta let that set.
A few moments later.
Okay, so now I've waited a few minutes. I've got my cork with the glue already dried on one side. I've got my key foot with the glue now dried. And when I put that on there, it's gonna make a really good contact. So now I got a nice, when that hits, it stops, and we've got a nice feel on that E flat key. Brand new cork, it looks good, feels good. With a few tweaks, you can take something like this and make it play quite well. I put a link in the description below to where you can purchase one of these soprano saxophones on Amazon. Remember, the case that comes with this is terrible. So if you do pick up a horn like this or something similar, you want to make sure you have a decent case for it. A poor case, if the saxophone's moving around in the case, you're gonna need to get it repaired all the time. Now that this horn is playing so well, I'm going to give it away to one of you watching. Click the link in the description below. Follow the instructions on that page. All you need to enter is an email address, but you can get bonus entries by visiting BetterSax on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube if you've got accounts in those places. Now make sure to follow me on all of those platforms because I'm sharing great saxophone content all the time, and the more follows, subscribers, likes, and views I get, the more I want to give away saxophones and make videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.